Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Heyman. I'm a spiritual coach, intuitive tarot card reader, a guide, an energy healer, as well as a counselor for mental health and relationships. So, why is a successful marriage a myth? This question was asked by a friend who I'm connecting with after eons. So, this video is dedicated to my audience as well as to the person who asked this question. So to be able to understand what this is all about, obviously we need to delve a little deeper into the whole concept of marriage itself. So I would like to break it up into smaller parts as to um, what it meant earlier, what's going on now, what caused the issues, and how to make it successful. So let's begin. In former times, basically, it was simpler, and it was just a simple act of finding a suitable partner, and this was predominantly something that was done by parents in the form of arranged marriage, predominantly. Love marriage was not a norm back um, then. I don't know, back when, at some time, love marriage was not really approved or it was acceptable. So it was predominantly arranged marriage. So there was little or no information given to the people getting married, depending on their personal situations, upbringing, as well as experiences. It was just something that was meant to be done as an order to be followed by parents and never questioned in most cases. So it was predominantly to carry forward the family line or to procreate and to be on the same page as the society that we live in. So this was a way of doing things at a certain time, and then obviously things changed over like things change, needs change, people evolved, and now to understand where it all went wrong. Basically, our perception of it, or what we have been telling the younger generation, or also with the advent of media. It was portrayed in a probably in a dreamy version and with the songs and the romantic songs and movies and so many really romantic songs being dedicated. Teens got a probably a wrong impression of it or just one version of an impression, and so this did not really help all those in those impressionable ages. Maybe young girls felt that this was something to look forward to, and this was like a blissful feeling or a state of being, like being rescued by a knight in shining armor and similar situations. But the reality, obviously, is something completely different, as we all know now. Society played a major role, as well as media, lack of information, support, or counseling. All of this led to a lot of confusion and therefore deterioration in the family bond, and connection started breaking. Living with family or living with larger families was a norm back then, and that also made it harder for young adults to cope with. And women also felt that they had to leave their parental homes and move into their in-laws' homes. Obviously, marriage is not just two people coming together; it's the entire two communities coming together. Two people who bring their own friends, their co-workers, everyone comes into the equation, right? The siblings, the parents, the in-laws, and everything. So back in some age, working was not really an option, and it still followed to some extent in some households, and this led to a loss of identity and lack of self worth as well for some women. Not that working is a must, but it should be an option for people. Um, like you can, if you want to be a homemaker, wear it with grace, wear it with dignity, that's fine, but it should be something that a woman gets to choose for herself, because some people don't want to work, some people do want to work. So it really should depend on the woman in question. So basically, in short, marriage was idealized and made to appear like a happy place or like something like an ultimate happiness. Both partners perceived it as a means to procreate and for stability, parental pressure, expectations, rules by society, being judged if you go against it, and so on. So, overall, the hype that was built around it kind of killed its real essence, combined with the fact that no real discussions were ever made on how to live together and co create a life together after marriage. Unrealistic expectations were set by everyone involved in the process. Many people got into marriage expecting their partner to complete them or to fulfill all emotional, physical, financial, spiritual needs. This set them up for failure as expectations did not match the reality. And over time, obviously, people evolved, needs change, and so did perception. Awareness and speaking about relationship issues kind of brought some change as well as financial independence. A sense of sharing the household duties was something that did not happen before. It was understood that men would earn, protect, and defend, and women would be nurturing, caring, and kind towards family and children. But now women earn equally, if not more, than their spouses, and hence don't feel the need for marriage. Some crave their independence and do not want children, for example. And so basically, needs have changed drastically over time. The early stages of marriage are still fun even now, as there is chemistry, intimacy, deep founded love, and trust. But this runs out as responsibilities increase, situations change, needs change, people evolve over time, even within the institution of marriage. And expectations change as well. So now people value personal freedom over everything else. The myth aspect comes in only when we have unrealistic expectations out of marriage and think that there won't be any conflicts or issues that arise. Agreeing to disagree is something that is not talked about before, or not something that people like to deal with, because there's a lot of ego involved. So what really needs to be discussed is your own individual needs out of marriage, your own individual needs, and what you expect out of a marriage, knowing yourself first, loving yourself, knowing what you're getting into and what you're expecting out of your partner as well. When you know this well enough, then the chances of getting it right are higher. There is no perfect marriage as such. It's just it's perfect or it becomes perfect when two imperfect people come together to live in unity, love, harmony, mutual respect, trust, faith, loyalty, and commitment towards each other without any sort of abuse, competition towards each other, or without judgment or disregard of each other. um, I mean, you should not ever abuse anyone. Nobody has a right to treat someone unequal or to abuse them or to, do something that makes them feel unsafe in that relationship. So when we grow, work together to grow, build, and create a meaningful life together with our own flaws, faults, and insecurities, all the while knowing and trusting that we have each other's back, that's when a marriage can actually work. And today, actually, divorce rates are so high, and unfortunately, it's not portrayed, it's not put out there. Like if you search on the net, you don't get the right numbers, because this is not something that is declared in a society. So it's just something that you're aware of, or you see in your surroundings around you, but these are underplayed. But the divorce rates and separation are really, really high right now across the globe. Uh, People are either simply living together for the sake of the children, or there is parental pressure still, or there could be a lack of the right kind of support. Like parents, children may feel that their parents will not take them back, so they just decide to tolerate the marriage itself or the person that they are married to. Sometimes one partner is more dominant and the other is submissive, and that's how they make it work. But it depends. It really, there's no judgment here. Whatever works for people. Sometimes both have just given up hope or lost interest in each other over time. But basically, yeah, the rates of divorce and breakup separations are really higher than we are aware of. I was almost under the impression myself, at least 20 years back, that marriage would become an obsolete concept in the future. But so that was given my own situation as well. But over time, I have worked on this, healed myself as well, and have tried to restore faith and hope that people will choose to marry for the right reasons after seeking the right guidance and the counseling that's really needed for a marriage to work. So, marriage itself isn't necessarily a myth. What's a myth is the idea that it's always blissful, effortless, and permanent in its idealized form. So, to make it successful really requires love at the very core, and then obviously faith, trust, and reasonable expectations, and a lot of emotional maturity and support from each other as well as from the people around you, your own network, and your parents and family, as well as guidance and effort by both to make it work, and constant communication as well, and also being honest, loyal, and committed. You cannot make a marriage work if you abuse each other or cheat or lie on each other and expect them to be okay with it. Be honest, treat each other the way you want to be treated. Love and respect and um, are mutually earned the right way. But once you lose it, it's like irreparable. So tread carefully and do whatever you can to be loyal and committed to each other. And most importantly, learn to be good friends first and learn to tolerate each other, because you have to see each other every single day for the rest of your lives. It's not something that you can just run away from, right? It's a long term commitment. So choose wisely. There has to be chemistry, safety, boundaries, and a sense of personal space that cannot be violated. I mean, looks change over time, people change, needs change. What remains is the fact that you can continue to be friends through it all. And since we are not related by blood, it's easier to break a marriage than any other blood relation, for example, with your siblings or parents. So it's really totally up to two people to make it work. And yeah, it's not really a myth nor a dream. It can be made a reality with the right approach, with open communication, and the right support system. With that being said, here's wishing you all a really happy, successful married life for those who are looking to get married, and for those who are already married, keep the magic alive. And if you need any personal assistance, reach me at the links below for relationship counseling, premarital counseling, or coping with divorce or breakups. Thank you. I do hope this answered your question, and I hope this helped you. Do let me know if you have any feedback for me, or if there's any support or guidance that you need. And hope this helped you. Thank you. See you next time. Stay blessed.